I watched him from across the street, a younger kid from one of my psych classes getting cornered by a couple of townies. A sigh escaped me before I jogged over and defused the situation. He was so grateful he insisted on buying me a drink, his enthusiasm a little overwhelming. I figured it was the least I could do to accept after helping him out. We ended up at the tap room, a noisy campus pub. I didn't expect him to slide a folded-up letter across the sticky table, confessing in earnest that he had a massive crush on me. It was so sudden the buzz from my beer vanished. The kid, Leo, was pleasant enough with a clean-cut look, but he just wasn't my type. I needed to let him down easy. I told him I already liked someone. Leo's face fell, but he pressed on, asking who it was. He wouldn't believe me, he said, unless I gave him a name. My mind raced, grabbing the first name that surfaced from campus gossip. Ethan Cole. As the name left my lips, a man standing at the bar turned his head. He stared at me for a few solid seconds, his eyes dark and unsettling. He was incredibly handsome, with a strong jaw and a statuesque build that suggested he spent a lot of time in the gym. He had to be 6'3" at least. He was definitely my type. Leo, with his back to the bar, didn't see the man's stare and tugged at my sleeve, his voice urgent. He warned me that Ethan was notoriously straight, and aggressively so. The stories about guys who had confessed to him were not pretty. Ethan Cole was the unattainable prize of the campus, and everyone knew it. I patted Leo's shoulder reassuringly, pulling my hand away. I told him not to worry, that there wasn't a man alive I couldn't win over if I tried. It was just a boast to get Leo off my case. The tall stranger's brow furrowed in disgust before he turned and walked out of the pub. Odd guy. Returning to my dorm later that night, I found the hallway flooded. A pipe had burst in my room. Maintenance said it would be days, so they had to reassign me. My new room had one bunk left, the top left. A guy on the bottom bunk was intensely focused on a video game, not even glancing up as I came in. I introduced myself anyway. My name was Chase. The guy on the opposite bunk immediately sat up and introduced himself as Sam. He pointed to his top bunk, telling me that was Jason. Finally, he gestured to the gamer, leaning in to whisper. He informed me, with a conspiratorial grin, that my new roommate was none other than Ethan Cole. He asked if I was trying to get a head start. The whisper wasn't quiet enough. Ethan paused his game. He lifted his head, and his eyes, cold and sharp, locked onto me. It was him, the guy from the pub. The intense stare, the look of revulsion. It all made sense now. A hot flush crept up my neck as I remembered my foolish boast. I opened my mouth to explain it was all a huge misunderstanding, but Ethan spoke first. He stated with a deadening finality that he could never be interested in a man, and especially not in me, so I shouldn't even bother. The awkwardness was thick enough to cut with a knife. I just coughed and said I understood, explaining that I was only there because my old dorm was underwater. Despite the frosty introduction, Ethan wasn't hostile. We fell into a routine. The four of us even ate most of our meals together at the student union. When we sat down, I noticed the looks we got. I overheard snippets of conversation, people remarking on how bold I was, calling me the straight slayer for getting so close to Ethan Cole. I tried to shrink into my burger. I had assumed Ethan had told them about my supposed plan, but it turned out someone had filmed my declaration at the pub and posted it on the campus social feed. The humiliation was profound. Ethan seemed particularly unnerved by the gossip and left halfway through his meal. As I was clearing my tray, someone slammed into me, sending a scalding cup of coffee all over my chest. The guy, Xavier, sneered, asking why I didn't watch where I was going. The pain and his attitude lit a fuse in me. I dumped the rest of my soda over his head and told him he was the one who wasn't looking. He got in my face, snarling that just because I was good-looking didn't mean I had a shot with Ethan. I scoffed, firing back that Ethan would be lucky to have me, and that he should try his luck and see how far he got. Xavier's face turned red with fury. He shouted past me, asking if what I said was true. Ethan was standing there. He hadn't left. He'd just come back for his phone. The burn on my chest throbbed, a dull ache that seemed to reach all the way to my heart. This whole situation was spiraling. Ethan picked up his phone from the table, not even glancing at the drama, and turned to leave again. Xavier grabbed his arm. Ethan looked down at the hand on his sleeve, his voice dangerously low. He asked Xavier if he hadn't learned his lesson the first time. The threat was unspoken but clear. Xavier snatched his hand back. I'd heard the name Xavier before. He was the one who had confessed to Ethan and ended up with a broken arm. That's how Ethan's reputation started. And still, the guy hadn't given up. Back in the room, I pulled off my shirt. A large red blotch covered my chest. Grabbing some burn cream, I decided it was too much effort to climb to my bunk and sat on Ethan's bed to apply it. The cool cream on the hot skin made me hiss in discomfort. The sting was sharp, and I instinctively gripped the bed sheets, breathing heavily through the pain. The door opened. Ethan stood there, his expression unreadable as he took in the scene. Me, shirtless on his bed, wincing and making small noises. Mortified, I shot up to explain, forgetting about the bunk above me. My head connected with the steel frame with a loud clang. I fell back onto his bed, dazed, a faint scent of freesia from his sheets filling my senses. A large shadow fell over me. His voice was flat and cold. He didn't like his things smelling like other people. He told me not to sit on his bed again. I mumbled an apology, my head throbbing. His gaze flickered for a moment, then he looked away, telling me to get up and put a shirt on. My protest died in my throat when I saw the look in his eyes. Fine. I pulled on a clean, loose-fitting t-shirt. The fabric rubbing against the burn was irritating, and I kept shifting uncomfortably, making small, involuntary sounds. After a few minutes, Ethan's voice cut through the quiet, tight with annoyance. He asked if I could stop making those noises. I retorted that it hurt, and since he wouldn't let me go shirtless, he should tell me what to do. His response was a clipped whatever. Xavier was vengeful. The next day, he ambushed me on a quiet path between buildings, telling me to stay away from Ethan. We ended up wrestling on the ground. He grabbed a loose rock and slammed it against the side of my head. My vision swam. Through a blurry haze, I saw a pair of long legs sprinting toward me. A foot connected with Xavier, sending him flying. Strong arms lifted me as a panicked voice called my name. Chase. I woke up in the health center with my head wrapped in gauze. My 3 roommates were watching me. As I tried to sit up, a sharp pain shot through my skull. Ethan was there first, gently pushing me back down. He told me not to move. The doctor said it was a concussion. I asked what happened to Xavier. Sam chimed in that they had called campus security and the police. He was facing assault charges. I joked weakly that I took a hit for Ethan's love life. Sam agreed, saying it was Ethan's fault for being so popular. He told Ethan he'd better take good care of me. Perhaps feeling a sense of responsibility, Ethan didn't argue. He stayed at the hospital to watch over me. I told him he could go, that I was fine. He just pulled up a chair. He said head injuries were serious, and I was already dumb enough. He asked me what really happened with Xavier. I was curious too. For someone rumored to hate gay men, his attitude toward me had softened from initial coldness to something almost protective. He hesitated, then explained. Xavier was a stalker. He had sent him bizarre and disturbing things. Ethan had made it clear he wasn't interested, but during a school camping trip, he found Xavier naked in his tent. In a panic, he broke his arm. After that, he confessed he hadn't had a very good opinion of guys who were into him. He glanced at me, adding that it had been a long time and he was mostly over it now. I told him anyone would react that way. As I listened, a heavy drowsiness pulled me under. In my sleep, the dorm room flickered to life, but different. Warmer. Ethan was pinning me to his bed, his lips on mine, his hands exploring under my shirt. His voice was a husky murmur, telling me to admit I wanted him. My own body betrayed me. I woke up with a jolt, my heart hammering against my ribs. I was alone in the hospital room. No, not alone. Ethan was asleep in the chair next to my bed, his head resting on his folded arms. The movement woke him. He looked up, his eyes hazy with sleep, a reddish tint at the corners. He asked what was wrong. The memory of the dream made my ears burn. I stammered that it was just a bad dream and he should go back to sleep. Lying back down, the dream replayed in my head. I was on the bottom. Me. That couldn't be right. But why would I dream something like that? Was it possible I actually wanted to win him over? I peeked over at him. He was already asleep again. His profile was perfect, like something carved from marble. I found myself leaning closer, almost close enough to... I stopped myself. This was a bad idea. Falling for a straight guy was one thing, but a straight guy with his kind of baggage was another entirely. After a few days, I was discharged. Ethan had been surprisingly attentive, doing everything short of holding my hand in the bathroom. The ordeal had bonded the four of us in room 812. We were a real unit now. Ethan even invited me to join his online gaming sessions. We needed a fifth for our team, and just then, Leo started spamming me with invites. I sighed and told the guys I'd bring one more in. The moment Leo joined the voice channel, he gushed, asking about my head and wishing he could have visited. He offered to play a support character tethered to my ADC. A knot formed in my stomach. He was still not getting the hint. I quickly said I wanted to play jungle instead. He chirped that he could play a support that followed the jungler too. Before he could finish, Ethan's voice cut in, flat and toneless. He apologized, saying his hand slipped and he'd accidentally banned the character Leo wanted to play. His words were apologetic, but his tone was anything but. Leo said he'd play something else. Then he asked, loud and clear for everyone to hear, how my quest to win over Ethan was going. A heavy silence filled the voice chat. I laughed nervously, explaining that we were just roommates and brothers now, and that the guy playing the top laner, Kai, was Ethan. Leo's voice brightened, asking if that meant he could try pursuing me again. As he spoke, Ethan's character suddenly dashed forward, shoving an enemy tank directly into our fragile, low-health healer, who was immediately obliterated. Ethan offered another deadpan apology, claiming he was bad at the game and pushed the wrong way. He, a player with a top 10 global ranking, was claiming to be bad. I muttered a promise to our dead healer that I'd get revenge and proceeded to hunt down and eliminate the enemy tank. Leo praised my skills effusively. Ethan's voice, laced with something I couldn't identify, was suddenly right there. He called me by a nickname, Chasey, and said since I was so good, I should carry him more often. I leaned over to Sam's desk and whispered, asking if Ethan was on something. Sam just chuckled, glancing at Ethan. He wasn't on drugs, he said, just had too much vinegar with his dumplings tonight. He told me to figure it out myself. The game ended soon after. Ethan claimed he was tired and left the lobby. That night, I dreamed of him again. He asked me to grab him a towel. When I brought it to the bathroom, he pulled me inside, pressing me against the cool tile wall and kissing me hard. He murmured against my skin, his voice laced with an unfamiliar jealousy, asking why Leo admired me so much, why I was so nice to him. With every denial, his grip tightened, his teeth grazing my neck. He growled that I was only allowed to like him. I mumbled that I never said I did. The dream grew more intense until I woke up, feeling drained and disoriented. That morning, Ethan offered me a container of food from a popular off-campus spot. He said he wasn't sure if I'd like it, but had heard it was good. As our fingers brushed when I took it, my heart skipped a beat. It felt deeply unfair that I was having these intense dreams about him while he was just being a good friend. He looked refreshed, full of energy, while I felt like he had siphoned all of mine away in my sleep. Sam teased him about the special treatment, saying Ethan had always refused to go out of his way to get food from that place for him. I offered a weak excuse that it was probably just because of my head injury. Ethan sat up from his bed and ruffled my hair, looking at me with an unnerving seriousness. He asked point-blank if I was really gay. I confirmed it, then jokingly warned Sam not to fall for me. I tackled him onto his bed, and we wrestled playfully. From the corner of my eye, I saw Ethan grab a pack of cigarettes and slam the door on his way out. Sam pushed me off, a knowing look in his eyes. He just called me a block of wood. Leo, undeterred, started showing up at my classroom, bringing me lunch. It was becoming a serious headache. I told him again it wasn't going to happen. His eyes welled up as he asked why. I told him he wasn't my type. He pressed, asking what my type was, saying he could change. Without thinking, I described a man who was tall, cool, intense, with almost foreign-looking features. The words hung in the air, a perfect description of Ethan. The realization hit me. I had just described my feelings out loud. My first excuse in the pub had been a lie, but this one was the subconscious truth. I actually liked Ethan. I rubbed my temples, denying it when Leo accused me of still being hung up on him. He didn't believe me and invited me to his birthday party that weekend as a last-ditch effort. He shoved the lunchbox into my hands and ran off. When I turned, Ethan was standing a few feet away, a cigarette between his lips. Smoke obscured his expression, but the air around him felt heavy. He walked over, tapping the ash from his cigarette, and nodded in the direction Leo had run. He asked if Leo was pursuing me. I admitted he was. He then asked if I was interested. I said not at the moment. His tone sharpened, almost accusatory, as he asked why I took the food then. The question irritated me. I told him it was none of his business. He gave a short, bitter laugh and agreed before walking away. Ethan didn't come back to the dorm that night. The next day, pictures flooded the campus social feed. It was Ethan with a beautiful girl, an exchange student who was already being called the new campus queen. They were standing close, laughing, whispering to each other. The comments were all about what a perfect couple they made. A sour feeling churned in my stomach. If yesterday I suspected I had feelings for him, today I knew for certain. And he was moving on. I spent the rest of the day in bed, trying to sleep it off. Sometime in a hazy, half-awake state, I felt a cool hand on my forehead. Felt nice. A voice, Ethan's voice, told me I had a fever and needed to eat something. I opened my eyes. His handsome face was close, blurry, lost between dream and reality, remembering the heat of my fantasies. I heard myself ask him why he wasn't kissing me. His hand froze. He asked what I said, if I was delirious. Reality came crashing back. I mumbled that I'd mistaken him for someone else. The heat in my face intensified. He pulled his hand back. He told me to drink some soup, and if I was tired, I could just sleep in his bed instead of climbing up and down. His offer implied he wouldn't be sleeping there tonight anyway. The thought made my nose sting. As I climbed down from my bunk, he rushed to my side, his hands hovering near me, asking if I was okay, why I was crying. I wiped my eyes furiously. Being sick was making me emotional. I told him I was fine. He fussed over me like a mother hen, telling me to change my sweaty clothes and to wait for him to get back with medicine before I went back to sleep. He left, and the door clicked shut behind him. That night, I dreamed I was in a strange room, wrapped in Ethan's arms. He whispered against my ear, his voice angry, asking how I could let someone else pursue me, how I could accept their gifts and say it was none of his business. He said he had wanted to pull me away and kiss me right there to show everyone I was his. He confessed that when I'd asked him to kiss me earlier, even though he knew I was sick, he'd almost done it. He pulled my hand down, pressing it against him. He begged me not to accept anyone else's advances, or he wouldn't let me go. I got better. Leo's birthday arrived. Deciding I should at least bring a gift, I went to the mall. And there I ran into Ethan. He was with the girl from the pictures. I tried to walk past without being seen, but he called my name. I was forced to put on a fake smile and say hello. He asked what I was doing at the mall. I explained it was Leo's birthday and I was getting him a gift. The hint of a smile that had been on his face when he saw me vanished. He confirmed that Leo was the kid who brought me lunch. I nodded and made a quick excuse about being late, then hurried away. I picked out a simple pendant, something not too expensive. As I was leaving the mall, I saw him leaning against a black Porsche Cayenne. He offered me a ride. I told him I'd just grab a cab. He looked annoyed, asking if I was avoiding him. I denied it, saying I just didn't want to hold him and his friend up. I flagged down a taxi and left him standing there. Leo's party was at a gay bar downtown. As soon as I arrived, I felt eyes on me. I gave Leo his gift and wished him a happy birthday. He took it and hugged me, refusing to let go. I tried to push him away gently, but he clung to me, whispering how much he liked me and begging me to give him a chance. I was tired of it. My voice went cold as I told him that we could only ever be friends, and if he couldn't accept that, we couldn't even be that. For once, I was brutally honest. His eyes reddened. He asked if I would at least have one drink with him for his birthday. He held out a glass of whiskey. I took it, clinked his glass, and downed it in one go. Immediately, I knew something was wrong. A disorienting heat spread through me, my limbs suddenly feeling heavy and useless. The glass slipped from my hand and shattered on the floor. I stumbled forward, and Leo caught me. I looked at him in shock, asking if he had drugged me. The innocent, hurt expression was gone, replaced by a twisted, mocking grin. He said he was tired of my playing hard to get. This was easier. I asked if he wasn't afraid I'd report him. He just laughed, tracing a finger down my neck. He said a guy like me wouldn't want the shame. I bit my tongue hard. The sharp pain cleared my head just enough for me to swing a punch, catching him square in the jaw. As I fell, my hand landed on the broken glass. I grabbed a sharp piece, ready. He wiped his mouth, his eyes full of rage, and grabbed a fistful of my hair, snarling that he was going to take what he wanted right here. Just as he reached for his belt, a fist flew out of nowhere and slammed into his face. It was Ethan. His face was a mask of pure fury. He grabbed Leo by the collar and hit him again and again. Leo, who was no match for Ethan, was quickly reduced to a bloody mess. Even then, he managed a sick laugh, taunting Ethan, asking if he was that possessive, if I had really turned him. He was a maniac, practically begging to be killed. With the last of my strength, I called out Ethan's name, telling him to stop. I told him I was feeling sick. Ethan dropped Leo like a piece of trash. He scooped me up, his eyes softening as he saw my bleeding palm, and asked if it hurt. I shook my head. The heat in my body was overriding everything else. He carried me to his car. I couldn't stop myself from touching him, leaning into him, fumbling with the buttons of his shirt. He couldn't drive like this. He made a call and soon a driver arrived. In the back seat, behind the privacy divider, I kissed him. His lips were cool like mint. He gently held my wrists, his voice soft but firm. He told me to be good, that we'd be at the hospital soon and I would be fine. I begged him, my voice cracking, but he was resolute. At the hospital, after they pumped my stomach and stitched my hand, I woke up feeling a profound sense of shame. He had saved me and I had tried to jump him. I pretended to be asleep, hiding under the blanket. Ethan stood by my bed for a long time before I finally gave up and looked at him. He asked if I was uncomfortable anywhere. I said no. He gently dabbed my lips with a wet cotton swab. I started to ask about Leo, worried about the trouble Ethan might be in. He cut me off, his voice sharp. He couldn't believe I was worried about that piece of trash. I clarified that I was worried about him. His expression softened. He assured me everything was taken care of. He had filed a police report for assault and informed the university. Leo was facing expulsion. He asked why I was there. He admitted that a friend hadn't called him. He had followed my taxi from the mall. A bad feeling had compelled him to stick around. I told him he should go home and rest. He just pulled the chair closer and rested his head on the side of the bed, saying he'd sleep there, just like he had before. After that, I actively avoided him. The heroics had only deepened my feelings, and I knew I had to pull away. Sam asked why I was taking different electives from the rest of them. I just shrugged and buried my face in my phone. When Sam and Jason left for class, I noticed Ethan hadn't moved. He wasn't taking that class either. Being alone with him felt dangerous. I jumped off my bunk, announcing I was going to find my old roommates to play some games. He grabbed my wrist. At that exact moment, a voice came from my phone speaker, some random player from my last game, asking for my social media and if I'd play with him regularly. Before I could answer, Ethan snatched the phone. He told the guy no, then proceeded to unleash a brutal 5-kill streak with my character before ending the game and tossing my phone onto my bed. He pinned me against the wall, his voice low. He asked if I was avoiding him. I couldn't meet his eyes. He said I wasn't fooling anyone. The different classes, the polite refusals of food, the running away the second we were alone. He said I wasn't being subtle. Then he smirked, reminding me of my mission. He asked why I was running if I was supposed to be winning him over. I felt a deep shame and pushed him away, admitting that it had just been an excuse at first. His hands went to my neck, pulling me so close our noses were almost touching. He asked what he was supposed to do if he had taken it seriously. My mind went blank. He told me that he had, and that I had succeeded. He pushed me back onto the bed, his body pressing me into the mattress as he kissed me, deeply and thoroughly. He confessed that from the moment he had walked in and seen me on his bed, shirtless and vulnerable, he had wanted me. The dreams, the jealousy over Leo, the passive-aggressive gaming, it was all real. He hadn't known what it was at first, chalking it up to his past issues. But seeing Leo give me lunch made him want to claim me, and that's when he knew it was love. He pulled back, his eyes dark, demanding to know who I had mistaken him for when I was sick. I laughed and kissed him back, telling him I was only lying to cover my embarrassment. It was always him. A look of dawning comprehension spread across his face. So I'd been having those dreams too. I nodded. He held me tighter, a possessive heat in his eyes, asking if I'd really been planning to move out if he hadn't stopped me. I sheepishly admitted I'd been checking on the repairs in my old building. Then I asked about the girl. He broke into a wide grin, realizing I had been jealous. He explained she was his cousin, an exchange student he was helping get settled. He'd stayed at his parents' house for a couple of nights after helping her move. The mall trip was to help her buy a thank you gift for his mom. With all the misunderstandings cleared away, I pulled him down for another kiss. When we finally broke apart, breathless, he whispered against my ear, his voice husky. He said our dreams were about to come true, and I finally learned that my dream of being the top was, and always would be, just a dream.